All right, there we go. So yes, I'm not Chris. Chris is backstage right now. He'll be here shortly. I just wanted to start off the show with a little introduction. That was Chaotic Exile from the 2022 Bloodstorm album, Cursedness of the Cinder Witch, which was definitely in my top 3 releases of last year. Kicks ass. If you still haven't gotten it, you need to get that shit. Bloodstorm. That's the album or background. That's the album cover there. So great album. Listen to it a bunch, and you should too. So anyway, so Chris was on here. Been on it plenty of times, but he did a 1980 playlist, which went over well. Everybody enjoyed. So now he's back for 1981 playlist. So where were you in 1981? How old were you in 1981? The latest album rules. Goddamn right it rules. So anyway, go get that. Get all the Bloodstorm. I know there's some reissues coming out and all kinds of shit, but yeah, look out for that. So Chris is going to be doing the list. I'm just going to be in the background playing the tunes. I'm going to be the producer, the DJ, or whatever, what have you. So I'm going to go ahead. So let's go ahead and bring the man of the hour and a half, 2 hours. So there you go. Bunch of young people in here. Look at that. -2, -4, -5, 3 years old. A bunch of young people. I was 6. Yeah, 6. So anyway, all right. So let's bring them on. Everybody, put your hands together for Mr. Gamble himself.
Greetings, one and all again. Hello. It's good to be back. I love talking shop with all you people, man. Music. I mean, it's our lives.
Oh, yeah.
I really appreciate that everybody enjoyed Francisco's list with me in 1980. And, it was enjoyable to do. I love it. So awesome. Here we are for 81. I hope everybody likes these picks too. Thanks. Good to see you.
All right, so I'm gonna duck out, but Chris is gonna take over, and I am out of here. So get ready to jam.
Well, hello everybody, and thanks for coming on board again, doing the year 1981. It's funny, Francisco said earlier, he's like, how old were you and where were you? 1981. I was a 10-year-old, little Philadelphia little punk bastard running around sticking firecrackers and dog shit. That's what I did for fun in 1981 with my friends. As much as Dungeons and Dragons, Marvel Comics, and music, as most people, I guess, my age, my neck of the woods did. So anyway, so here we are. That line alone, I have a set list written out, how I want to do an order, but that little statement Francisco made kind of inspired me to switch it up just a little bit. And I want to start off with something. And this is a great band from England in beginning off the decades. And then this is kind of like our badge, our uniform, And when he said, "Where are you?" 1981, the line that Biff used was, "Where were you?" in 79 when Damn began to burst. So I want to start this one off to everybody on here, man, that loves this music. This is Sax and Denim and Leather. This is us.
The spirit
Such a beautiful song for us, isn't it? And you listen to that, and it's like, yeah, man, that's our uniform. That was part of really who we were, and part of how we identified back then, wasn't it? It's such just a simple, tremendous feeling. Something I love so much about our music, and I care so much about it, just like all you people here. And I love to enjoy this, you know. You know, a lot of people always praise Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, the Black Sabbath, you know, and Saxon kind of always took a little bit of a back seat in my history of the people around me in those days, you know. So some love and appreciation there, man. Saxon, they're fucking solid, man. Love it. Love it. Music to live by. So staying in England, you know, being the bands that mentioned really set the stage when the dam began to burst, right, in 79? Well, one band that all my friends and everybody that knows me knows how I love so much, heavily influenced by the trio of Kronos, Abaddon, and Mantis. You know, they started black metal. They are the originators. And I just got to say, this fucking song is one of the most beautiful ones out there. I mean, literally, it's got to be easily my top 20, no doubt about it. That's there's just everything about aggression and full on that you can go back in that time, man. And just the video alone, watching it on Ultimate Revenge was such an awe-inspiring sight to see them. This song just, it grabs, man. This is just the absolute beautiful beginning, the dark core that brought us black metal. And this is Venom with Witching Hour. I mean, how much more massive can you get than Venom, right? Ladies and gentlemen, they just set a standard past everybody in that time. For me, that was The Exorcist in music. It was one of the most buzzsaw blades up my backside of ever a first experience there was than Venom. And they helped me create the little fucking punk bastard that I was when I was 10 years old. But no, beautiful stuff here. Staying right in England, these were their label mates on Neat Records. And just as aggressive. They had all the speed, chaos, aggression, and their wild violence was a beautiful thing. And these guys just called themselves athletic rock. And these guys really brought some hell to the stage. This is Raven with Hell Patrol. I mean, John Gallagher's voice in his prime. That's why I picked that song. It's that epic, beautiful, just monstrous, hellacious scream. He did it all, man. It was beautiful. It went great with that rustic buzzsaw guitar sound. Beautiful, beautiful band. Love Raven so much chaos and power and energy. So England was really doing a good number, I think, in 1981, showing a lot of people a good standard of heavy metal, more powerful music, you know. It's just, you know, 80 brought out a lot of good standards, and 81 seemed to amplify the rest of them to come out of the demo stage and the album. It's just really great. But I want to move over into Europe right now, and a lot of really great singers in heavy metal music back in that time. A band that just seemed to blow over for a long time, at least in my neck of the woods. Everybody always talked about Rob Halford and Bruce Dickinson and Paul Di'Anno, you know, Ronnie Dio. I mean, all the big names, right? I mean, it was great. Bon Scott had passed away. We lost him, and I love all the AC/DC. And you get people once in a while. You know, it's the same songs, the same band, but it's great for a reason, because they definitely have a standard on their own. But Bon's voice was so unique, you know. So when I found this next band the year before, and really, if you shut your eyes, you would swear that it was AC/DC songs that just never got put out there. And Mark Strozzi is a really great, powerful vocalist. And this band is very underrated and don't get enough credit, especially in the early 80s. And this song, it's funny, when I listened to this band back then, and this song, I always picture the Warriors in my head. That movie just comes into my head with this band. It just does. I guess maybe it's just my environment. But anyway, from Switzerland, this is Crocus with Rock City. All right, man. I love Mark's voice, man. He's the best thing the Bon Scott I got for my ears. Love Crocus. So going back to England, one of my favorite bands, and well, played them last time. They're the Female Motorhead, man. I mean, there should be no introduction to them. These are 4 straight out boots to asses rock and roll heavy metal women, man. This song, it just has punch, 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 drive, 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 and Kelly's guitar just goes. She rips, man. This is girl school. Watch your step. Well, Girl School's hit and run, man. Their second album. Love them. Female Motorhead. They were the first of its kind. I mean, of course, there was the Runaways before that, but that was the 1970s now, wasn't it? And speaking of the Runaways and going back, I just want to go to the American side just for one moment and pay homage to one of my favorite ladies in rock music. Trust me, all the other aggressive stuff's going to pick back up where it is, but there's just eternal love for this lady because she's still out there doing her thing, and got mad respect for her. And she's just a wonderful rock and roll woman. Great standard. This is Joan Jett, Love is Pain, off the I Love Rock and Roll album. Ladies and gentlemen, how can I not pay homage to Joan Jett? She's a rock and roll queen, man. Back in the day, she was great, man. 1981. She was hot, man. She was it in stateside here in Philadelphia. You know, and she's had her punk rock background, too. I mean, her love for the Ramones and doing the production for the Germs album. So I'm going to stick in the hardcore punk era just for a little bit here, okay? I want to take it back to England, where this band started lighting up more after got a little bit more headway, I guess, in the demo days. But this is from one of the great standards of great British hardcore, and this is GBH with Race Against Time. That's right, man. Great Britain hardcore, just right in your face, 1981. And we're staying in England, and we're staying in the hardcore realm. And this wonderful band is just nothing but barrels and barrels of dynamite, you know, piss and fire. And love the guys, love the Spike Liberty Mohawk, love the raw aggression and energy that they bring, man. Here we are again. I had them last time, but I have to bring this. This song is just the sort of song you could commit violence to and do some vandalism. And this is exploited with Dead Cities. Let It Ram.
say you're hanging up. That's your lies, that's your lies. That's your lies, that's your lies. Stolen government from the road. No enjoying the feeling of proud. That's beside me, not in the crowd. It's a person with the volume of sound. That's your lies, that's your lies. That's your lies, that's your lies. That's your lies, 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 that's your lies.
Now there's a double slam of Britain hardcore right through a glass pane window, right? Let that be a fucking hammer to you, man. Love it. And this next pick I had is another one of my favorite women in rock and roll. And she had her hands a bit hanging with the punk scene and even hung with Lemmy at times. And nothing but mad respect for her. She's absolutely a stone soul. And this song is very pretty much removed from commercial play, and I could see why. And if you stay with it, you'll hear why probably in a minute. But it's really a great song, and it just kind of just goes right through, you know, it just blisters right through this song. And it really shows a bit to me how Chrissy really had that punk element punch to her, and that raw rock and roll drive that she had. She was no hold barred back in the day. She lived the life. And this little song here, you know, she put some boots to asses with this one. So this is off of Pretenders too. This is Bad Boys Get Spanked.
You're not supposed to do that. No, you're not allowed to. If you seem to get some kind of kick out of doing it, you're not allowed to. You deliberately defy the rules, 'cause the laws of hell not fools. You know that bad boys get spanked. You can look but don't touch, but no, you can't resist. Don't you ever think about the consequences? Guys like you never do. That's the kind of stuff that rolls are made out of. That's the kind of stuff that those are made out of. You know, bad boys get spanked. Bad boys get spanked. You don't listen to the asshole. Don't be a punk all your life. Someone's gonna sort you out. They'll try to make a man out of you. Now say yes or say no, say. Say yes, ma'am, say no, ma'am. You know that bad boys get spanked. Bad boys get spanked. Get
Chrissy had some pipes on that song. I love it. And never heard that one played on the radio, you know, from them. But always a little appreciation for Chrissy Hine and the Pretenders, man. Great. So I'm going to shift it back now to into Europe, to Belgium. And I think this next band I chose didn't get too much recognition that they probably should have too. And I think they've even started earlier than this album is. As far I'm not quite sure. I forget the history of it, but you know, when I first heard them, I was amazed at just how really raw and just very potent guitar sound, heavy drumming. I mean, everything. It's got every mechanism of the heavy metal engine you can have. This band, it's great. I highly recommend them. This song is great. It starts off superb. It's got all the necessities that people like us love, ladies and gentlemen. Give it a chance here, man. This is killer. Ready for Hell. Heavy metal Belgian biker music, right? 81's a killer year for metal, isn't it? Anyway, It's a really great year, and the thing that I admire most about '81, hearing a lot of these albums and playing them, is the riffs, the riffing that goes into a lot of these albums, the playing style, the sound of the instruments. I mean, it's just, there's no overproduction of this stuff. It's just played out. It's the simplicity of it is brilliant, I think. And that is a quality that needs to be in heavy metal music in all forms. I think so. But I'm a 52-year-old guy, and I hear and see things who I am, and I ain't fucking changing anytime soon. I'm stuck the way I am, folks. This is it. But so this next band I'm going to bring up, there's a lot of great duo guitar players. Okay, in the early '80s came out. Everybody knows, Dave Murray, Adrian Smith, and KK Downing and Glenn Tipton. You get those trios, right? But this band, out of Germany, with Wolf Hoffman and Jörg Fischer, with Udo's vocals behind it, it's great. It's even, I think, it's a step up past the energy level in some aspects of some of the other bands I just mentioned. And the riffing, I think that Wolf and Jörg bring to the table, it's brilliant songwriting and 1981 metal. And this album especially, the main riff in this song, it's simple, but it's just, it's just honest, raw, heavy metal power. The riffing's great. And Udo's voice on top of this tune, it's beautiful. You can just rip skin off of a skull. I think so, but that's coming from me. But this song, this is from Accept off the Breaker album. It's called Run If You Can.
He will
what can I say, man? Not enough words of love for Accept in the early years and songs like that. I mean, that's just, you got to tap your foot, you got to bang your head, man, or bang hammers, or bang something hard and heavy, right? That's the purpose of this music. 81's still a great year, man. Things are just masterful riff after masterful riff, just simple raw aggression and pure energy, man. It's a great thing. What a great time to be alive in heavy metal and rock and roll, I think, that year. And the punk and the hardcore to go along with it too. And such a nice bridge that some of the bands put together in the heavy metal and hardcore, punk rock, and all of those extremities together. So my next pick here encompasses, I think, the best of both worlds. And not only is the music a great and beautiful sound of violence, but the overall character of the leader's presence, forefront, stands out iconic on her own. And, you know, from 1981, this is off the Heavy Metal Priestess EP. This is the Plasmatics, and you get a Doom song.
Sanctify this place. Protect us from evil. Behold the power of the night. Shine, that we may see the light. Curse the filthy hypocrites. Crawl into their beds at night. Ooze from slimy depths below. Scream into their frozen brains. Work thy wretched wrath. Remove all obstacles from our path. I command that these things of which I speak will come to be. Your time is gone. YHVH, so it is done. Behold, the power of the night shine, that we may see the light curse. Look how the hypocrites crawl into the beds at night. Ooze, as I detest the Lord scream into their frozen baby hole. The prince of darkness here. You shall go too. Your time has come. YHVH, so it is done. Behold, the power of the night shine, that we may see the light curse. Look at the hypocrites crawl into their beds at night. Ooze, as I detest the Lord scream into their frozen baby hole. The prince of darkness here. You shall go too. Your time has come. YHVH, so it is done. let's crawl into the midnight ooze. Cause I am let my love scream into the belly hole. God brings up darkness here. Useless are doomed. Here can this come. R-H-E-H. So innocent. So it is done.
You just gotta love it. It doesn't get too much meaner than that from back in the day. Even by today's standards too. I mean, who else is really like that? As a a front. Forget about a woman, a front man. I mean, there's some out there, but sign of the times, man. I mean, watching Wendy just perform, her theatrical chaos in such a nice, aggressive, expressive manner. It's just beautiful to paint with that music. It's great, man. So, nothing but eternal respect for Wendy O. Williams. If you love heavy metal, rock and roll, I would imagine if you love it with the aggression and power, it's got to be some love in your heart for Wendy O. Williams and the Plasmatics, right? I would think so. But to each their own. Now, anyway, there was a band that I remember being quoted for my next pick here. I remember one of the sayings that was posted for them, written for them, I should say, was England's last heavy metal band, heaviest band in England. And Fast Eddie Clarke, the production on their albums, and so this is their 7-inch EP, and this is just beautiful, pure, thunderous heavy metal power. I mean, this is 1981. This is just a great addition to this list, and I hope you all enjoy it, man. And special love and dedication to Algie Ward of Tank. This is Tank with Don't Walk Away.
Down 16 under.
That's just pure heavy metal blood, mud, and thunder going right across a battlefield and a World War II Panzer, isn't it? It's that fucking heavy. You have to love Tank, man. I mean, hell, it Profane aside, you know, it really brought so much great heaviness to the table. So that I want Tanker very high on my list of influence and play. I love them. I mean, it's just brilliant heavy metal music. So I hope you all are enjoying the 81 list so far. I got another one coming up here. It's I had this band last time on my 1980 list. This is 1981, and we're going to go back into to Holland for another round of a heavy metal anthem, if you will. I don't think too many people seem to be that familiar with the band, and at least in people I met, you know, there's only a handful that seem to kind of know this group and tend to love them after they hear them for a while, because again, I think it's got a lot of great quality to their sound, and they offer a lot to the table for the heavy metal world. And to me, it's another band that was overlooked. And this, I want to say to everybody out there that's watching this and hanging out, and hope you're enjoying the tunes here, I want to dedicate this to all of you, one friend to another, one metalhead to another, a person that loves our music, you know, in all of its glory, in all of its genres. I mean, I think we can all somewhere all have common ground in this kind of music, especially like this year, you know, the way that these bands, you know, presented themselves and their style and what they really thought and believed in their music. And it all had something to say about it. And it's really kind of really good conjoined, like, brotherhood there. I think so. I don't lose any faith in that. I love it because this music really made me who I am. And this song here, I want to dedicate to just everybody for just, you know, being heavy metal friends and colleagues and just coincidences worldwide. So this song is Picture Heavy Metal Ears, man. Enjoy.
We gonna lock up the
for all of you. Hope you enjoy that. But you know, like the song says, I mean, heavy metal ears, man. You know, and I just want to say to everybody, you know, no matter what, you know, walk of life or social environment or cloth we're cut from and everything, when we have our music and we have that sense of belonging to that sound and all of its elements involved, and there's a camaraderie that can join us. I mean, we gotta, as lovers of this music, we gotta keep that going, I think. Try to let go a lot of the, you know, governmental horse shit that still, you know, shits in our lawns every day. It's unnecessary. And, you know, one of my great adorations I have for Lemmy, he always says music should be rebellious for the fucking sake of it. It should piss off the authorities and squares, and it should be rebellious for the sake of it. You know, it's not supposed to follow any laws or any kind of guidelines. It's supposed to be, you know, loud and obscene and it's just that standalone standards, you know. And the only way to feel that noise is when it's good and loud, right, ladies and gentlemen? That's the way to feel it. So when all these bands were happening in 1981, you know, Motorhead already put out Ace of Spades, and that started to bring to, you know, a lot more bands to the table in the years to follow, this year, next, and 83. It really is. Everybody still, you know, quotes that album, but they were on tour in 81, and I remember Lemmy saying that, you know, their album hit, you know, I think it went #1 in England, and they were touring in America. And this song just encompasses everything that I think our music really means, and the love of it, and just complete anarchy, rebellion, heavy metal, rock and roll music in its purest form. No laws, no rules involved, just the enjoyment of it. And I enjoy all this with you folks. So in closing, this is Motorhead, No Sleep Till Hammersmith live, Overkill. Play it good and loud.
Don't sweat it, get it
here we have it. 1981, through the eyes and ears of Mr. Chris Gamble. So that was fucking awesome. I enjoyed it. I thought those stuff I hadn't heard before. Look, that picture band. I think you said it perfectly. Anytime you hear that band, you're like, God damn, this band is so fucking good. You know. So
I thought so.
Yeah. So I was like, whoa. And then the Plasmatics SCTV performance. I
was surprised you put that one up. I watch that all the time too.
Yeah, it's I mean, I had to whenever, especially you see like. John Candy sipping on some coffee.
Not enjoy? I know he's in it with like Wendy's going crazy, and he's there with the. It's great stuff. How can you not love to watch that? I mean, hey, I love watching her. My mom, when I used to watch that, my mom used to sit there and just shake her head like, "What the hell was she thinking? Oh my God! What the hell was that? She might as well. She's naked for God's sake!" It's funny. It was just funny to put that shit on. My mom sitting there. It's a nice goof.
Well, and the point being, I mean, you look at it now in 2023, it's like, oh, but that's 1981. That was 42 years ago.
No.
Imagine
it's
that,
crazy when you
being a
think
little
about
kid.
it.
Yeah, being a little kid in front of the TV or whatever and seeing that in 81 is just like just mind blowing.
I never got to see that in 81, of course. But seen her in magazines before I seen her anywhere else, you know, because there was always pictures of her all over the place in those early magazines, Cream Metal and all that stuff. It's she's it's like a lot of the performers, I think, as the decades go, they become just one in their timeline with the stars in that time period, and that's it. You know, they leave a nice impression, and you know, it's rich. It's rich history. Right. I think it is. You know, they're part of rich history. Like I said, I think when I was picking these songs out for 81, I was like, you know, there's a lot of the bands, you know, kind of like after, like as you said, when everything kind of like bursted by that time, and that's why I picked Denim and Leather, because I think the same thing here in that song. It's like, you know, it really did. It opened up so much by the time 80 came, you know, and it just got so popular. Priest had the British Steel album, you know, Dio's now in Black Sabbath. You know, there was these changes, you know, and everybody was, I guess, getting their niche. They were getting their demos and all that in 80, and then by the time 81, here's these EPs and LPs coming out now finally, and it's just, and there's no guidebook. There's nobody like, there's no internet to I don't know, I guess put a pissing contest or a measuring stick up to. Everybody just did their thing. And isn't it fantastic when you listen to that stuff, at least for me, when I listen to those bands, like they all had the same kind of idea in mind. And, you know, there was no internet back then. I mean, and I doubt everybody these bands got on the phone with each other and talked about how they're going to write their songs and albums. But I guess what I'm saying is that the real core of the mindset of that time period is I mean, it leaves me speechless, because it's the quality that I think it's there, but it's the real kind of like a journey to find in this music and these bands and the sound, and the journey of it isn't there. The journey's missing because the internet's here. So there's no kind of journey with your friends going through this, you know what I mean, or reading about it, and Journey was new. And when these bands were putting their albums out, you know, some of them for the first time, their debut album, some of them, not all, but the mindset that everybody had for heavy metal and rock and roll and even the hardcore punk, there were two areas, and they kind of were able to do this. Yeah. And I think it showed the riffing, the sound. It wasn't overcomplicated mess. That's how I see it. You know, the simplicity of it is brilliant.
One of my favorite things about pretty much every song, I love the raw guitar sound, and also the drums, the drum production on all these songs. It sounds like drums, right? And it just,
no trigger.
But it just sounds like they're playing right there in a room for you, kind of. You know, you're watching them play in a room. Yeah.
And that's how it feels when you listen to those records, you know, before you get some of these artsy fartsy people, I'm going to reissue it, I'm going to remaster it, I'm going to reproduce. It's like, leave them the fuck alone. They sound that way and have its personality for a reason. That's why those albums are fucking good. When you get these, I'm going to remaster my album. No, leave it the hell alone. You guys are there for the reason when you made it at that time period. That's what's important. That's what's important. You know, no need to try to, reinvent your own wheel, especially when you had it rolling great when you started. Just leave it alone, man. Just do it. Just do new and move.
The reason you liked it is because the way it sounded,
it wasn't a overcomplicated mess.
Yeah, you didn't. That's the reason it hit, was because you liked the way it sounded originally, and you don't need it. What's the point in changing it up if you got it right the first time? You know.
That's how I think about it. I think about that for even albums today. When you make a record, this is my convoluted fucking view of it. My thing is, when you're writing a song, you're writing for the moment. If you're going to record, you're recording in that moment with those people, how you all feel together as a unit, unless you're a solo artist. You know, I unfortunately don't have a whole band. I hire Jim Rowe to work with me. But when I go up there and I put songs together with Jim, his input is so vital to me. Yeah. You know, I like input with people. I like working with people. I love this music, and I love to enjoy it with others. I mean, that's why I'm here. It's probably the thing I know best for myself to do. And I think there's quite a few people like us that are like that. You know, this is what we do best. You know, and not to share it, I think, is bullshit. Of course we do. Why would you make a record? You don't want somebody to hear it, or you don't want to share it. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's not to me. It's never a pissing contest. It's not who's better than the other. It's not who's the riff master. It's this whole universe of music, and we're just putting it in. We're putting our own planet into that solar system. We're going along, man, and we're all going around, and we're doing this journey together. I don't know. I enjoy it. You know, I like Susie Quattro. Susie Quattro made a comment a long time ago. She always asked her. Somebody asked her, what bands do you think are good or bands? She said, I don't think any band is good or bad. She goes, there's either good music or there's not. She's like, I don't think of it as a band. It's either it's good or it's not in any form it is. It's simple and to the point, but I agree with that, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't try to overcomplicate things.
Yeah, either you like it or you don't. And nowadays, like, I remember, like, being a kid listening to things, I didn't sit there and try to pick apart, like, the production and all this and that. But nowadays, you read online, well, you know, this sounds like, I don't know, it's like people are way too critical of things that they loved as a kid, and now they're like looking for flaws in it for some reason. I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I was like, why? You never thought about, oh, you know, the drums sound kind of weird now, or, you know what I mean? It's like, what has changed in 40 years? Are you some kind of like, just some kind of rock critic douche or something now? I don't know. You know, everybody's a critic nowadays, you know? And
it's true.
I just never understood. I never understood why, you know, or when that happened. I don't know if it's from the internet or whatever gave everybody a voice, which not everybody should have a voice. I don't care what they tell you.
Right.
Some of you just need to keep your mouth shut, and maybe me included on some things, right? I'm not excluded from it either, but you know, it's like, hey, just listen to the music, and either you like it or you don't, and it's not about this sounds like shit or that sounds like shit or they should have done this or, you know, whatever. But anyway, that's just, I'll get off of that.
Yeah, I agree with you, because listen, when I started the BLOODSTORM after I dropped GOREAPHOBIA and I took a little time to reinvent myself in my own way, I started doing BLOODSTORM. Man, I was ripped apart for as most people over in Europe were. They were very snob. They had an inverted snobbery. Only they were allowed to play dark black metal music. That whole thing that they painted with all that garbage, that nonsense. To me, it's weak bullshit. I mean, to me, it is. It's all this. Everybody can run their mouth. Like you said, everybody's got an opinion. We're human beings, man. We all have critical thinking on things. But, you know, if you spend your time ripping people down, ripping them down, and that's all you do, it's like, well, what the hell do you have to show for how great or what your great qualities are? You show us all what we're doing wrong. I mean, you got to do it by conviction. You have to be able to do it and back it up. But like you say, there's a lot of that. And the internet's no double-edged sword. We get a lot of great information, and we get a lot of bad criticisms too. It's just a double-edged sword. Me, like you said, if I'm not into it, I'm not into it. It's not for me to judge what's in a person's heart or soul and how they're going to express it. Because my opinion's always been, when you tell somebody what they like or what they do sucks or it's wrong, naturally I would think most people are going to love what they do even more. Because I don't think as human beings, people like to be told that what they like or what they're doing is bad or it's garbage. Nobody wants to hear they're bad. I don't think. But when you make music, when you put things out in the public, like you and I, we got our bands, it's going to happen more so than not because we're putting ourselves there. Yeah. So I look at it like I expect to get ripped apart more than getting good compliments or camaraderie for. I've gotten more negative thrown back at me in my years than I did positive. Just like you said, because more people like to they have this big hole in them and nothing fills it. Right. And the only way to fill that is they're just going to rip each other apart. It's a waste of time. Yeah. That's me. And it's going to happen. I accept it, but fuck it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I absolutely agree. I mean, it's just, people say, well, Francisco, you say this sucks and this sucks all the time. Well, that's conversation, and that's trying to make things kind of interesting or whatever sometimes. But
it's interesting to critique. It is. It's interesting to critique. Not everybody's on the same page, but I think you can always learn something from somebody. So it doesn't matter how old you are. There's always something to learn, I think.
Well, yeah, and my point was more about how everybody just picks apart like what an album sounds like nowadays, production-wise. That's just like what I don't get it. It was great when you were a kid, and now you're like, well, now that I listen, whatever. It's just something that's just kind of odd to me that people do that.
I think the more we're in touch with our past, the more we're in tune to our future. I tend to think that.
Right. Yeah. But I just, but either way, I mean, everybody's going to do and say what they want, but it's just, I just find it odd to me. I'm not saying, stop, do whatever, you do whatever you want to do, but I just find it odd that, there's just so much talk about production nowadays, and it's like, to me, it's always about the song, the riff, and all that shit. If it comes
100% agree with you.
If it comes through, even if it's on a boombox recording, some of my favorite things were on rehearsal demos. You know what I mean? So
the Necrovore demo.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. So we'll be here for another, 18 minutes live, and then we might be do a little after show thing. You know how sometimes we'll chat afterwards on here.
I'm up for it.
But since you mentioned Necrovore, and I had to actually have this pulled up, you actually covered a Necrovore tune.
Toxic Decay, and I got your blessing.
Toxic Decay, so I'm gonna if you've never heard the BLOODSTORM cover of Toxic Decay, you're gonna hear it now, and we'll be back after these fine riffs.
Cool.
Hell yes. That was.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Loud and clear. BLOODSTORM covering Toxic Decay from the classic
Cool.
or demo.
Thank you for playing.
Yeah, of course. I was either going to open the show with that or the other one, but like, let me open it with the new album or the latest album. So I just had that queued up. So
It's all in. Thank you.
What year did you record that? Somebody's asking.
That was back when it was 3-piece with Tom and Chuck. All right, let me just think of here a minute. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Before I was married, before I had kids. It was at Tom's house. Tom was our drummer at the time. He was Macroon. He was the drummer. But he had a studio in his house. I want to say that was probably. That's when I had my hair dyed platinum blonde. I'd say it was probably summer of 2006. I think it's like summer of 2006 or 2007, maybe at the latest.
Yeah.
I think 2000. I think summer of 2006 is when we did that. It was supposed to be on a compilation album, and the guy was out of Holland. I think, if I remember right, he was out of Holland. It was brother, and yeah, just nothing. Never saw the light of day.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I put it up.
It's cool. It's definitely it's a damn good cover. I enjoy it. Because I mean, I love the Necrovore shit. So that was the.
They're a blueprint for me. Yeah. And I had John and Jorn's blessing to cover the song. I'm like that. I like to ask permission and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they gave us the tablature for the song so we can rehearse it. So it was a win. Hold on. I'm busy. I'm busy. Sorry, I just shoo my daughter away. So that's summer of 2006.
There you go, Teddy Tommy. Summer of 2006.
That's what I think. Because it was Thomas and Chuck. So. Yeah. Frame.
Yep. Great cover. Teddy Tommy says great cover. Oh.
Thank you very much.
There it goes.
Thanks, Teddy. Rose, if you're there, thanks for coming on. John, who else did I see upon it? Noella, all of you. JD, thanks for coming on. Frazier.
Yeah, we had quite a few.
Bulldozer shirt. Yeah, somebody made a comment, but.
So let me ask you something. I know I asked you this last time, but the BLOODSTORM vinyl reissues, is there any update on that? I think Hell's Headbangers is doing stuff.
Just Hell's Headbanger whenever Justin's, going to do it. I mean, it's, as far as I know, he's got everything he needs. I guess it's whatever he decides.
Yeah, because I saw them make a post. I guess. They made a post about the CD version of was it the Atlantean War Dragon CD or something else, and then they say we'll be issuing this on vinyl. I don't remember what time frame they said, but they have mentioned it like on their social media stuff that they'll be reissuing some BLOODSTORM stuff. So it's out there. So. I just wanted to ask if maybe you had any more insight on that, but
not yet.
But that's cool. Yeah, that's great. Everybody, I'll put in the comment or in the chat. What you thought of the playlist or whatever. I mean, curious to see what was your favorite song? Was there a song that you heard maybe that you never heard before that now you're gonna go fucking track down? Because that's kind of what this is all about too, being able, somebody, you hear something you never heard before, he's like, oh fuck, now next thing you know, in 3 weeks it might be your favorite fucking band for the next 2 years or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's how I got to find Acid, because there was always heard of the band, always heard of Acid, always, just as an example. So when I was with Absu, we were over there on tour. I guess one of the pen pals that Ross Proscriptor had, or somebody that knew him, knew he was a fan of Acid, and handed him all 3 albums on CD. we were at the bar. I was standing with this dude walked up. He's like, "Hey man, I heard you're a fan." He handed it all through. I was like, "Oh shit, that's that band Acid." Oh, okay. Russ was like, "You never got to hear them?" I was like, "Dude, I never got to hear them yet." He's like, "Come on, let's go on the bus." Put them on. I was like, I heard Kate's voice with the music. I was like, sold. This is great. I was like, because back in the day, most of the shit, you can only get what was there. You only got what the record store had in there. And that's just how it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you always find somebody else.
Justin says, killer show. Justin was jamming out all badass throughout the show. Kick-ass
Oh,
show.
thank you.
Killer show. John
Oh,
Lincoln.
thanks.
A really even, unique, nice playlist.
Oh, thank you.
The Pretenders song was a deep cut for me. I got all 3 Acid, Fraser says.
Yep. You have
it.
to.
I'm looking for his 1983 playlist. Oh, all right. So
I'll do it, JD, whenever Francisco says the word. I think 82 would be next.
Yeah, it'll
on the ladder.
It'll happen. Just give some time in between because I got other stuff.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's definitely gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. We'll do all the 80s. So obviously things might be rolling a little more extreme as the years go by. Or
That's
maybe
what happens.
not. Or maybe not.
Maybe not. You never know. I mean, the missing person to come out, and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I would put myself in the frame where my head was at the time. Is probably what I would do.
Right.
I mean, because once you hit 82, 83, 84, my head was nothing but. So
yeah,
it would make sense, I guess.
Well, yeah, exactly. And yeah, once you start getting into those years where, or like you were deeply into something, like whatever that year was for you, like you get to see kind of like what you were about at that time in your life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So music says a lot about kind of who you are, who you were at a certain time of your life. Because obviously there's songs where you listen to it, you're like, oh fuck, I'm in 1987 all over again. Every time I hear the song.
That's one of the songs I picked for this decade. I mean, well, for this year, this year for 81, I was like heavily into the movie The Warriors because it was showing on rotation all the time on HBO. My sister had HBO. And then my father got the big VHS. Do you remember them old, big-ass first line of VHS recorders that they had out? They were like heavy. They were like TV set heavy back in the day. Getting all those cassettes. And we had the work. But I can remember, listening to, the Crocus album, and accepting all that stuff, and just, it all kind of made, it was part of the environment. Like those albums and those movies, the way the streets were in Philly, my old neighborhood, that's how it is. The environment plays a big part about me. So
absolutely. No,
just like you're saying, everybody's got a story.
Yeah, I think that's for everybody.
Everybody's got a story.
You are a product of your environment. I mean, it's.
I am.
Everybody, I think everybody. I think that's true for everyone.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What else? DJ Hellhammer, you rule, dude. Fun show tonight. Excited for the next year's show. 80. Oh yeah, we skipped 82. How did we go from 83 to 81 to 83? We forgot about 82.
I didn't forget.
No, I know, but JD's like, I'm looking forward to 83. Maybe 83 is one of his favorite years in music. I don't know. Made me pull out some records in the collection that haven't been touched. There you go.
Oh, cool, man. That's nice. It's nice.
When you would rent the machine with the movie. Yeah. I think I did that before. You would rent the VHS player. We had like a grocery store. It was like a local grocery store. It was literally like 4 houses down from where I grew up, and they started renting out like VCRs, and we would rent the VCR and then rent movies.
Yeah, but that's how it was back then,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
we
it
could
was. It was
just we could just click on the TV and watch like Netflix or something.
no,
But
you can now.
but yeah, that was one of the things when I was like, really young. I had some cousins that lived just down the road, and that was our thing when we were really young. Weekend would come and we would rent movies, and just do dumb kid
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
So,
Like I said, my one comment earlier I posted is when I was 10 years old, me and my friends were running around putting firecrackers in dog shit. I mean,
yeah.
all the time. Yeah, that's how much of a city dirtball I am. So the little punk bastard kid in Philadelphia. Just did dumb shit like that. I just did dumb shit like that. You didn't care. You just did it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was all
exactly.
it's all fun, with your buddies.
You didn't think about repercussions or anything like that. You just fucking did it.
Really.
So nowadays, like I said, nowadays I think about like every step I take when I'm going down the stairs. Like I'm gonna fall and break like every bone or something nowadays.
Yeah, I think that a lot more now when I have my daughters. I'm so much more cautious about things because I need to be able to be 100%, to be able to do things. So yeah.
Okay, makes sense now. He was born in '83. That's why he's looking forward to '83. There you go.
Yes, there was.
Good reason.
I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware.
Well, cool. So we're going to cut it here, and we're going to continue offline for a little while. I sent some of you some links if you want to come in here and chat it up about whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Off, not online. And anything else in closing you wanna add, Chris?
Well, I guess as I said when I was playing a list, I love this music so much. It's definitely part of my heart and being. Ever since I was a little kid, everything's been kissing AC/DC and the Who and all that. And everything just grows this time. It's a music person, music family. And music was always that friend that was always there, no matter if anybody wasn't, it was always there. But when I had started making friends and getting into this music with other people as times go from being a kid into teenage years into the early 20s and the present day today, I enjoy just sharing music with everybody. I love it. I love to hear what other people, it's in their hearts and minds of music, and I like to share back. I enjoy it. I think it's a very important thing for our environment. Keep all the political horseshit out, and it's unnecessary. It's just such a big shit sandwich. I mean, do we really want to eat that, people? I mean, the governments do enough to us already as it is. Why do we need to do that crap to each other? Worry about all that garbage. It's such a waste of fucking time. Let's concentrate on the things that we love, and that's the music, the power, and the energy. The power. Let's not forget the power of what this music does for us, man. And I don't know. I could just hope that whenever we all have a bad day, just know that there's other people, like-minded people around, and put on that. Like Lemmy used to say, you put on the music that makes you stand up and say hooray. Whatever that happens, just put it on, man, if you're having a bad day. I do it. I hope you can all do it too. And let's enjoy our music together, man. I don't know what else to say other than that. Let's just enjoy our music.
Well said. See everybody on the next one.
See ya.